Start singing.
Alright, everybody, welcome back to the penultimate episode. That's what they call it, penultimate. Who is they? I don't freaking know. Our next to last episode of season 5, if you've made it all the way through. And today the curb episode we're going to be talking about is Accidental Text on Purpose from season 9, episode 6. Took place on November 5th, 2017. That November 5th, that is the 12-year anniversary of the start of XMAS time, my blog. Not that any of you give a shit, so let's stop pretending that. Let's see what IMDb has to say about it. The accidental text on purpose. Larry invents an ingenious ploy for getting his friends out of relationship jams. He also upsets Funkhouser's new girlfriend. Ooh, I like what I'm saying. First of all, I don't think I've rewatched this one as many as some of the others, so but I do remember. I think the overall premise, I do have to say, is Costanza-worthy. If we were the ringer, if we were the fucking rewatchables, whatever, 9,000 categories, one of them would be, was this Costanza-worthy? And I have to say, the premise itself is, but let's see how they execute. Also, for the first time, I noticed the IMDb ratings on one of these. This is a 9. I don't remember this being that good, but maybe, like I said, I haven't watched it a ton of times. And then I started panicking. I was like, should I be giving out the IMDb ratings for these episodes? But then I remembered, hey, dummy, you're not reviewing the episode itself. You're just doing your thing or whatever. See, I literally said doing your thing because I was literally too lazy to try to explain, take 15 seconds to explain what the fuck this podcast is, even though I've taken longer to explain why I didn't explain it. I don't fucking know what I'm talking about. Anyway, at 38 minutes, this is another fucking long one, so I'm going to try to get us through. That sounds really great. Anyway, don't forget this season of X Pure Enthusiasm is brought to you by Cheetos. Cheetos, fuck you. We know you eat them. Let's get started. Oh, and Larry right now for the season is 39 and 45, so if he can do a little catching up here, he can set himself up for the final finale of the season to go over 500, so we'll see. Anyway. Okay, right off the bat, easy loss for Larry. It's the classic running up through the airport, running up to the gate. They close the gate door to his plane right before, he's... and so he gets in it with the lady working there. I mean, you just can't win that no matter what. That's an automatic. I mean, the door's shut. This is a post-9/11 world we're living in. Larry, I know you flew fucking bombers during the war, and we thank you for your service, but in 20, whatever this was, when the door shuts, the door shuts. And I have to say, his little performance there, because you get the usual, I can see the plane, how many times have we seen this in a fucking sitcom? And I'm a little disappointed he did not bring anything new to it. Except, I thought he was going to get started talking about the reason he was late was because he got into this film, which I'm sure is going to pop up again later. I can't remember what it was. Again, I'm sure this is the first Chekhov's gun of the episode of 15. But then he just went back to just standard sitcom fervor. I can see the plane right there, blah, blah, blah. So it wasn't even charming. So it starts out automatic. 0-1. 0-1, Larry David. All right, easy win for Larry here. He's getting on this plane. He's going to, I forget, wherever the fuck he's going. And immediately he's trying to put his baggage up above his seat, but this asshole in a whole nother, seat ahead of him just starts throwing his shit up there. I've been probably screamed on this fucking show, and I'm going to try to not do it right now. This fucking thing, we're on airplanes, people just start throwing their shit wherever they want throughout the cabin is insane to me. It makes less sense than the whole, like, why does Amtrak let you sit on the train and get going before they bother, checking your tickets. I don't understand why this is so complicated. You have your luggage compartment above your seat. Boom. That should be your fucking luggage. Now, if somebody is some extreme case, somebody has shit, and if there's room in anybody's luggage bin, then you put it in there. I don't understand how this happens. One person, and it's all dominoes, and we want to say it's nobody's fault because it's all dominoes, and it's all this. The first person puts their shit in the wrong place, and then everybody just. I don't understand how. These airplanes have every brilliant engineer in the world working on them. We understand this, and yet they cannot figure out how to just explain to people, hey, if you can't put your shit in your fucking luggage bin above your seat, then you're out of fucking luck. I don't understand why that. I don't understand. I don't. So Larry argues with this guy, and the guy's like, fuck you, it's the Wild West. You know what? On the one hand, the guy's right. It is the Wild West, so fuck you. But that's not, that's not Larry's fault. I cannot. I don't want to get worked up. These fucking airlines, I do not understand it. And this was going to be the episode I tried not to drop so many f-bombs, so that maybe one day my goddaughter can listen to it. But that's out the fucking window. All right, I'm sorry. I'm going to try to calm down about this airplane shit. 1-1 Larry. Also, I do have to say, one of the little bits is Larry, because it's had to change his flight or whatever, so he's horrified he's not in first class. If anybody gets stuck on any seat, now he even got an aisle seat, so it's not like he has to be in the middle. I feel like Larry David's body is perfect to sit on any fucking seat on an airplane, right? He's rail thin. He weighs no pounds. His body is it's like a wet noodle. There's 1,000. I'm talking about his whole body. It seems like he could just sit and kind of meld into anywhere. And it'd be fine. Fold him up, put him in the fucking glove box. He has a perfect body. I will submit this. Larry David has the perfect body to be able to sit anywhere in a plane comfortably for both himself and his seat neighbors. I'm writing that fucking down. All right. Well, for fuck's sake, I can't believe I didn't brace myself for this. Of course, the second he sets down the plane, there's Ed Begley Jr., some doctor. Oh, hey, Ron, whatever the fuck. Oh, hey, Larry. Of course, because the goddamn law, one of the laws of Curb is, if Larry David leaves his house, by law, he has to run into somebody he knows. Here he is on the goddamn airplane that he got bumped to. Oh, I just fucking can't. Shit's brought to you by Cheetos. Cheetos, fuck you. We know you eat them. Okay, I hope this doesn't turn into like an avalanche here. But once he's sitting in his seat, now there's some other woman who's coming to sit with him, and I know that's going to be a pain in the ass. Larry sprints, he lunges himself into first class. Like, does he think he's the Duke boys? As long as he makes it home to home base, they can't arrest him. Like, as long as he can physically spring into the seat, they're like, okay, well, you're in. And then he's like shouting, like, just Jesus Christ, Larry. 1 and 2. You can't be doing. You could just fucking raise your hand and say, I did create Seinfeld. I have a wad of $9,000 bills in my pocket. Here you go. He could do that like a normal fucking human being. Anyway, Larry's down 1-2. I mean, you should be thrown off a fucking plane when you're just physically lunging towards first class, which is lunging towards the pilot. But again, all this, if you see, Larry has the perfect body. Let me tell you something. Whenever I'd ride on the bus, or actually, fuck that, I do that now on the metro. If the seat's empty next to me, when there's people coming up, especially on the bus, because the metro these days, well, no, that's not true. People sit down, but when it's this stream of people, everyone's getting on the bus at the same time. I somehow, like with a Jedi mind trick, I just slowly let all the fat I spread all my fat out, so I'm just like taking up as much of the seat as I can, because I don't want anybody sitting next to me because I'm a fucking dick. But if I see Larry David's coming, forget that he's Larry David, just that body. I'm like, well, if I have to sit with someone, if I know I have to sit with someone, and I see him popping up, I am sucking it all in. I mean, my eyes are going to light up when I see this motherfucker, this little beanpole you sit next to you and forget about for 6 hours on the way to Denver, Colorado. I would light up, I'd scoot over, everything. So you can bitch all he wants, but he does have the perfect body for this. All right, that's all I'm going to talk about Larry David's body. Okay, now the woman that sits between him and Ed Begley Jr. is giving him some bullshit. Can he switch? Because she's going to be getting up to go to the bathroom every 30 seconds. She's totally wrong. I'm just going to give one overall score for this bullshit. She's wrong. I mean, you're fucking crazy. But what really sets me over is, to kind of set it all up, she's looking around. She goes, I need to just kind of check out where the bathrooms are. I'm like, where you're on a fucking cylinder tube. You know where they are. Just start walking. You're going to walk, bump into the cockpit, turn around, keep walking. There's the fucking bathroom. You're going to go out on a fucking wing? Oh, there it is. Good thing I did my homework and checked it out where the fucking bathroom is. Easy win for Larry, because then I know in the end she doesn't even end up going to the bathroom. 2-2 Larry David. Oh, interesting. Now there's some sort of emergency in the plane. Some passenger needs medical attention, and Larry turns to Ed Begley Jr., who's a doctor, and he knows this because they're friends or something, whatever the fuck, which always happens on airplanes. And he says, "Hey, you're a doctor. Aren't you going to help him?" And Ed Begley is like, nope, don't tell them I'm a doctor. you know, yada yada yada. And they kind of go. Larry's like, "How can you do that? You're an actor." And Ed Begley's like, "You know, I've just set myself up to get in trouble. Then they'll land the fucking plane." He shits on Lubbock, Texas. F you, Ed Begley Jr. That's where Buddy Holly's from. And they kind of go back and forth. And I do have to say, Larry wins this. He's right, and it's the right normal human thing to do because this person is in distress. I don't know what it is. I don't remember them dying or anything. But I do have to say, I do find Ed Begley's whole like pretend I'm not a doctor thing charming. And I also have to say, just like I said, the whole premise, the accidental text on purpose, I think will be Costanza-worthy. I think the whole like don't tell them I'm a doctor because I don't want to get in any trouble or whatever. If anything goes wrong, I'll just keep my head down. That I feel like is Costanza-worthy. So this is like a Costanza-worthy inside a Costanza-worthy. I believe this may be the first Costanza-worthy nesting dolls on XMAS Your Enthusiasm. I fucking sprained my brain on that one. Okay, now Larry blows it because the plane's landed. Everybody's getting up. And then he just starts attacking her. You didn't get up at all. You were full of shit. She's like, got a medical. Regardless, just shut the fuck up, Larry. Get off the plane. He tries to get the crowd into it. He's like yelling. You look, not only you're wrong, you look like an asshole. It's over. Everybody's up. If you're going to yell at her, you could have done it during the fucking plane ride or whatever. Ugly loss, Larry. 3-3. Ugly. Okay, now Larry's over Susie and Jeff's and the Funkhouser. The Funk Man's there. And Susie's like, hey, Jeff, don't forget you got to drive me to the airport whenever. And I'm actually looking forward to this. If I remember, this is one of the most hilarious scenes of the entire series. Absolutely Jeff's best moment of the entire series. But of course, Larry starts yelling and says, why does he have to do that? Why do you have to, and they go back and forth. Like, Larry, who gives a shit? What do you care? 3-4, Larry, that's a dumb loss. But in the, oh my God, what the fuck is she wearing thing, Susie's like wearing gold armor for the, golden armor a knight would wear if it was also fish scales. This is fucking hideous. All right, now we see Richard Lewis. We love you, Richard. We miss you, Richard. He's got a new girl, and he calls her honey. And Larry gets in his face, and he's like, whoa, you start dating. That's too early for honey. And he's like, you can't do that. And they go back and forth. I got to give the one to Larry here. Whether or not you think he's right, I don't think I've ever called a woman honey. But then again, what was I saying? No, now that I'm fucking depressed out of my goddamn mind. Oh, at least Larry was doing the right thing, or he thought he was, for his friend. So anyway, we give a little love to Larry there. 4-4 Larry. We're going to go, LD. And just like that, Larry shits the bed. They're doing a toast. And Larry, for some reason, won't clink glasses with Susie. And she's like, what the fuck? Just clink glass. Why don't you clink? And Larry's like, I don't clink. What? Just clink the fucking glass. I am exhausted. Do what to say we welcome some celebrity ladies here to the cast. Funkhouser's new girl, Elizabeth Perkins, she's in a couple episodes. She's fantastic. It's a one-note character, and that note is she's fucking terrible, and she is great. And then the always delightful, I guess this is Richard's girl. Obviously we just talked about it 10 fucking minutes. Andrea Savage, who's been in a million shows. She's been in 1,000 sitcoms. She's always great. I think she was in. Don't worry about it. She's always welcome on our screens. Andrea Savage. I'm sure she's going to be delightful as we go on. So we welcome XMAS Your Enthusiasm welcomes these ladies onto the show, however brief their times will be. Can I please shut the fuck up? What am I doing? Weird note. I'm sorry to break in like this. They're eating dinner, and Richard Lewis goes, I just have to say this is great food. Like, who says that food? Like, you would normally say, this is great chicken, or I love whatever it is, the rice, or this is great food. Very strange. All right, these easy losses are starting to pile up for Larry. Now he takes a sip of the water. First of all, I don't know why he's just drinking a glass of water with no ice at the fucking table. Takes a sip and is like, no filter? To Elizabeth Perkins, Funkhouser's girlfriend. And it's like, is your palate at age 120 so refined you can just pick up a glass of water and be like, filtered? Not filtered? Can you name what part of the state it's from? Shouldn't you be at a fucking carnival? So of course that's she hates him already, and they do a little back and forth. You can't. Why would you even? Who cares? Now it turns out he's right. Everybody's horrified by the water for some reason, and then she starts talking about you have no filter, which is kind of clever in her defense. But I don't know does she think she's gonna teach this guy a lesson like I'm gonna change a 904-year-old man. Just act like a normal fucking person, Larry. Wait till she goes back into the kitchen and then turn around and talk shit about her water to everybody else. Like a normal person. I don't understand. Which is what happens anyway. Now she walks off the fucking kitchen. I don't fucking... It just occurred to me. Part of why this water may suck may be because I just realized this room they're in, this dining room, I don't know if it's wallpaper or whatever, it's just sheer metallic, silver and gray. With like leaves, but instead of taking like the fall vibrant colors of the leaves, she's made it all silver. It's like being inside a fucking Pepsi can. Maybe that could affect how the water tastes. Anyway, just saying. Okay, now Elizabeth Perkins just kicks him out of the dinner party. She's like, "Get the fuck out." And so he makes a couple of jokes, whatever, and then gets up and walks out. Now, number one, everybody else just sits there. I don't know if they're just not surprised, but I got to give Larry the win there. I mean, you can't be kicking people out of your dinner party. But also, Larry, I mean, how embarrassed. If I got kicked out of a dinner party like that, just like a fucking child, like a toddler, I mean, you'd have to move. Like, what are you doing? How are you going to face these people again? It's unbelievable. But it was handed to. This is a perfect case of sometimes it just helps to not be the biggest ass, or sometimes it helps to just have a bigger asshole in the room, and that's Elizabeth Perkins in this instance. And Larry took advantage, 5-6. Although I don't know how you show your face again. Okay, now watching Larry, because this is going to be going back and forth. I can't remember what happened, but they're going back and forth on their car because it's filthy, and the guy said clean it. Larry wrote it with his finger, blow me into the dirt. So he didn't know who the guy is, but they're doing it. Larry's past the school bus, all the kids are pinned up against the windows cheering because it's got cuss words in the dirt. And this does remind me of the time in 4th grade when when I saw my first porno film, and it is porno because this had to be from the 70s. This was a reel-to-reel film, and I've never seen so many 4th grade or lower grade children work so perfectly in concert to get their beady little eyeballs on this thing. We were feeding it to each other. We all had our little paws pinned up against our respective windows, sliding it along, window by window, frame by frame, pinned up against the window so we can see, the light from the sun. Miss Hickman just driving, oblivious, and just slide it along, again, in perfect harmony. Of course, I can only speak my own stuff. I have no idea what the fuck I was looking at. But that's what this scene reminds me of, even though I don't think I explained it well. But you've seen the fucking show. So anyway, so now Larry's playing golf with Funkman, Jeff, and Ed Begley Jr. from the fucking plane. They make a bet. Strangely, $200. Like, where did that number? Either do $2 million or I don't know. Anyway, Ed Begley Jr. doesn't like the way he's playing, so boom, all of a sudden he's like, "Oh shit, I got an emergency. I'm a doctor. Don't forget, I got an emergency. I got to go. I got to leave." Larry gives him shit. He's more pissed about the $200. He's like, "You owe me." But anyway, then Larry gives him shit. "Oh, now you fucking, now you want to be a doctor, whatever." What is it with Larry and accusing doctors of having to leave and do doctor stuff? Just like was it Korean Bingo? No, Korean Bookie. Sorry, Korean Bookie. Did the exact same thing. The guy's like, "Oh shit, I got to leave," and Larry called bullshit on him. And it turns out he's not. So I don't know why Larry can't just say, "Oh shit, sorry doctor, please go." Anyway, Larry loses that one, 5-7. Okay, now Larry comes into Neiman Marcus to meet up with Andrea Savage to do some shopping for pants, because this is something Larry David does. He likes to spend his day with a clothes caddy buying pants. Anyway. So anyway, he comes in the store. Some woman comes rushing up to spray perfume like they do or used to do in malls. He gets a loss here because he literally just grabs her and shoves her. I don't know if she goes to the floor, and then he just keeps walking. Not only is that a loss, it's probably criminal. He probably should Should spend the night in the county jail for that, but whatever. 5'8" Larry, you are slipping, buddy. And we still have like 400 minutes in this fucking episode. So 5'8" Larry. Oh, and of course, as Larry's shoving this one to the ground, guess who just happens to be standing there watching, 10 feet away, because the laws of Curb insisted if Larry David leaves his fucking house, he has to see somebody he knows. There's Elizabeth Perkins. So I have a feeling that's not going to go down well. What is it? Every time Larry leaves his house, it's like, Larry David, this is your life. Everybody he's ever fucking known shows up. Right now, the funk man comes over to Larry's house and confronts him. He's like, what's her face says she saw you shove this woman to the ground. Is it true? And Larry, it's not like Larry's embarrassed. Like, shit, is that what happened? Like, did she go to the ground? Or put some performance? He's like, yeah, fucking right, I did. I was defending myself. She came in, whatever. They go back and forth. I'm glad I seem to find this funny because this is crazy. Larry, that's 5'9", bro. Okay, Funkhouser comes over to break up with Larry because his girlfriend hates him. It's not a scoring opportunity, but just a brilliant Funkhouser as just all-time great scene. Oh, so good. Okay, I guess I have to rule on this ridiculous Andrea Savage as Larry's pants caddy. When Larry goes in to try on these pants, she goes in there with him, shuts the door, and just stares at him. Kind of ogles him. Ogles? Now I can't fucking talk. Stares at him while he changes. And so then he's looking at pictures of Sophia Loren while she's on her knees, like pinning. I'm not saying. And then all of a sudden she's like, oh my God, gets horrified by this. I guess we're supposed to think that this 90-year-old man that has a gargantuous penis, that she's just like, oh my God, she's horrified. And then he's all like, blah, blah, blah. This whole, like, I'm going to lock myself into this dressing room while you change is so fucking weird. I'm not saying Larry could have gotten away with doing anything once they were inside, but it's just weird and creepy. And I assume this does not happen in any real dressing room in America unless you pay extra. Hey-oh, this brought to you by Cheetos. Cheetos, fuck you, we know you eat them. 6'10", Larry. Larry needed another easy win, and he got it. Richard confronts him. How could you get an erection with my girlfriend? And Larry's like, dude, what was she doing in the fucking room? And again, I gotta say, what was she even doing there? Come on. 7'9". Did I say? Yeah, okay, yeah, 7'9", sorry. Okay, now Ed Begley Jr. shows up, and he's with the girl who they were sitting with in the plane that pissed off Larry. I guess they're dating now. Larry confronts both of them about both of their bullshit. I can't even. Who the fuck? That's a loss for Larry. What are you doing? What are we doing? What am I fucking doing? 7'10", Larry. This is 17 already. That's got to be the most this season, because we've had a, dare I say, paucity of decisions. Let's see. Oh, there was 18 in an episode. He went 8 and 10. Oh, 10 and 10 in another one. So we'll see how it goes. I guess I can just shut my fucking mouth for once and try to learn something. Anyway, it's not gonna fucking happen. So, for the comeback kid, Larry gets one. Ed Begley, I don't know, wasn't paying attention. He's supposed to give some speech, and he had written some jokes, and the guy before him was kind of using up all the material. So he goes to Larry, hey, this is a comedy emergency. Can you write me some jokes? And Larry's like, fuck you. You weren't a doctor when... You didn't want to be a doctor when they asked you to be a doctor. So, and Ed Begley Jr. is like indignant. He's like, you have to. I'm like... I'd be like, fuck it, I took my shot. But why be indignant? So Larry wins that one. 8-10. And there goes all the momentum he could have gotten. Now Larry decides he wants to shout across the room to Ed Begley's date, the girl from the train. Turns out he's been monitoring her, whether or not she's going to the bathroom all night, because that's perfectly fucking normal. And he's yelling at her, you haven't gone all night, you don't have a medical condition. And they're going back and forth. I don't even know what she's fucking saying. I don't care. This is one, even for Larry, this is fucking strange. You can't expect to win something that begins with, by the way, strange lady, I've been monitoring whether or not you've been going to the bathroom. 8 and 11, Larry. Don't forget, this season of X with Your Enthusiasm has been brought to you by Cheetos. Cheetos, fuck you. We know you eat them. I don't think I did that right. Okay, now the final scene is the whole reveal for who did the writing, wash me, and back and forth shit on Larry's car because it's so dirty. They're at the car wash, and this guy comes up. I guess he's Larry's neighbor. And he lets it be known that it's him. It's like, what do you give a shit about how dirty? Is it lowering your property value? Larry doesn't even really argue, but this is sometimes it helps to have a supreme dickhead in the room. I'm giving Larry that win, even though, like I said, it wasn't as much back and forth in this moment, but the entire thing was so ridiculous. Also, this may be, not only is this, the whole dirty car thing could have just been stripped right out. You wouldn't have lost a fucking note in this episode. You just have rid of the car. This could have been the easiest, cleanest edit in the history of this show, or maybe all shows. So fucking stupid. But all right, so Larry, and that's it for the episode. Don't give a shit what happened. I gotta say, again, I don't like to comment on overall reviews of the episodes. That's a whole different thing. But so I'm not going to look at the IMDb rating next time because I'm kind of hung up. This should not have been a 9.0. Number one, it's way too long, 38 minutes. And it did have some legit funny stuff, mostly owing to so much Richard and Funkhouser. And, oh shit, did I somehow miss the whole Jeff driving Susie to the airport thing and being happy and then miserable? Was that a whole nother episode? Ah, shit. All right. I set that whole thing up in the beginning of this episode about how great Jeff was in that scene. And he was, but I guess I had the wrong episode. So, whatever. Anyway, so like I said, largest score in this episode. Larry goes 9 and 11, so that brings him up to 48 and 56 for the season. 48 and 56 as we head into the finale for the XMAS Enthusiasm Season 5. I don't think I formed that sentence correctly, but these episodes are way too fucking long. Anyway, thanks again, everybody, for listening. We'll see you next time for the final episode of Season 5 XMAS Enthusiasm, which has been brought to you by Cheetos. Cheetos, fuck you. We know you eat them. See you next time, everybody.